In this tutorial, we'll learn how to compute Green-Ampt infiltration parameters in GeoHEC HMS using the Compute Green-Ampt command. To begin, go to the Watershed ribbon menu and select Compute Green-Ampt. The Compute Green-Ampt dialog box will appear. In the Select Subbasins section, you can choose the subbasins for which infiltration parameters will be computed. You can check the boxes to select subbasins or use the Pick button to select them directly from the map view. This section also displays the computed parameters, such as initial content, saturated content, initial deficit, suction head, and hydraulic conductivity. In the Define Computational Data section, you'll see the Soil Moisture Method dropdown. You can choose either initial content or initial deficit. The selection will enable or disable specific parameters accordingly in the panels below. Initial content method requires initial moisture content, saturated moisture content, wetting front suction head, and saturated hydraulic conductivity as infiltration parameters. The initial deficit method requires initial moisture deficit, wetting front suction head, and saturated hydraulic conductivity as infiltration parameters. You can determine the infiltration parameters using a GIS polygon layer, NRCS layer, or by defining default values. The GIS polygon layer panel lets you use external GIS soil map layers to determine the parameters. Checking this option allows you to map the soil data from the GIS layer to the required parameters. While mapping, you can also specify the parameter's value type using the Value Type dropdown. In the NRCS layer panel, you can automatically compute the parameters using the USDA NRCS web service. In the Initial Setup tab, you can define the initial state of your soils to estimate starting soil moisture content automatically. The available options are Dry for desert or rangeland soils, Normal for typical field conditions, Wet or Saturated for irrigated land or right after a storm. You can also specify the initial moisture content using the custom field. In the NRCS Map Layer tab, you can view the soil classifications obtained from the USDA NRCS web service, along with the computed infiltration parameters. The Default Values panel allows you to set fallback values for each parameter. These defaults are used whenever GIS or NRCS data is unavailable. You can also click the Lookup Table button beside wetting, front suction head, and saturated hydraulic conductivity to obtain estimated values that can be used as defaults. Once you're satisfied with the setup, click Compute to generate the Green-Ampt infiltration parameters. You can review the computed values and make adjustments before closing the dialog box.